Hey, what is up everyone? Danny and Alex once again. This time, in the last video, we talked about some basic beginner submission locks. In this one, we're going to talk about some basic sweeping techniques you can do from the closed guard. So the first one is a classic sweep, and one of my favorites when I start training sessions, when I'm on my back. All right, it's called the scissor sweep. And why do I like this technique so much, and I like to start my classes with this, is simple. One, it teaches you the three fundamental principles of good sweeping techniques from your back. Number one, grips. Number two, movement, which is the shrimp. And number three, moving your legs in unison with the push-pull principle. I'll show you how it's done. So I have the grips here. One, that's the connection. Two, that's the movement, which is my hip escape. And now, once I connect my shin across his stomach, from here is going to be the unison of bringing my legs in and pushing them away from myself. From here, I'll attain a better position, which is the mount. So once again, I establish my connection. I'll move myself away to create space so I can bring my knee in, sweep him to the side. I don't let go of the collar grip. That's the most important point at the end, to pull myself back into the mount position. In the next one, in the previous video, what I talked about was the Kimura Lock. So as I attack this submission hold, I sit up and I'm going for the Kimura, but now notice how he's going to hide his hand behind my back as such. So maybe I lost this control at the wrist, so I end up in this position. So I'm going to switch by continuing the control, since I can't wrap his arm, continuing the control at his elbow, but push off my rear leg so I can bump my hips up and around into, once again, the mount position. So from here, I'm going for my first submission hold, but I miss this one. Boom. I end up like this. So I'll drive up and around so I can attain a better and more dominant position. Okay, so now I'm establishing grips, but he decides to stand up. Once I'm here, notice how his feet are near my hips. I'll let go of these grips and go connect my hands to his feet, but I'll release the closed guard position. I'll tuck my knees in together and bump to bridge onto my shoulders. Once I'm here, notice how my legs are over his legs. So I'll choose a side, let's say it's towards this side, and post on my hand. Now, I'm going to do the technical stand-up position, just like this. But instead of bringing this leg behind me, I'm going to move my hips forward as I grab onto his lapel. I'll go one, drop my knee very heavy, and notice the windshield wiper from here. One, into, once again, my mount position. So here we are. He stands up. I grab here, uncross, bridge, choose a side, drive my hips up. As I drive my hips up, don't forget, grab a piece of cloth, in this case, the collar. Grab onto your opponent. So that way there you can pull yourself up and bring your hips above his. As I come up, I go one, and now I turn my knee in against his body, so I have my better position. Okay, now we're going to look at a slight variation of this sweep, but now we're going to bring him to his side instead. So as I connect here, he stands up, but now his legs are in a narrow stance. So this one is a little bit difficult to do. So I'll uncross my legs, and I'll close the guard just above the knees here. So as I close, I go one. Now I take his arms out and turn him to the side. Once he's here, I'll attain, once again, my mount position so I can control from here. So once again here, gripping his sleeves. Now he stands up. I'll uncross and recross around his legs. Now I need to unbalance so he falls to his side. From here, enter into the mount position where I can control the fight. All right, the next one is called a flower sweep, but when we do the flower sweep, I control one side of his arm and the opposite goes underneath the opposite leg. And I'll show you how it's done very quickly. We'll go from here and swing this leg around so I can land in the mount. But when I teach beginners, sometimes they have a difficulty bringing the leg towards the opponent's leg. So I have a trick for you guys is we'll do a modification where I go here. Now as I turn, this leg will stay exactly where it is instead of swinging all the way down. All I'm going to focus on is pushing my hamstring nice and tight against his body. Imagine you're going to do a heel kick towards the ceiling from here. Right? This pushes his body weight forward and facilitates the sweep. Watch. Boom. Now from here, once again, you're into the mount position. All of the sweeps we're talking about today will bring you into a more dominant position, which is the mount in this case. So here we go. Connect here. Bring this one underneath his lap. Turn the corner. Bring this leg forward and push. From here, you end up in the dominant position. All right, the last one more variation of the flower sweep is I'm going to grab here at the collars. Now I'll move my hips just to bring a knee shield in, just like this. Now sometimes we move again to bring this guard, but this time my opponent closes his elbow and I can't bring my other lap in. So I'll release this, grab at the pants, and I'll just keep controlling here. And now I'll just push with this leg, but also push and drive my shin across the bicep, and now I can get the mount position once again. So let's look at it at a different angle right now. So you'll grab here. Sometimes you have double sleeves. I'll move my hips and pummel one knee in. Now, instead of bringing this one in, he's locking this leg into place. So I'll release here and grab right on the outside of the pants where his knee is, right from here. Once I have this connection, this one will drive forward, but the shin will also point his arm onto the mat. And now I'll get right into the mount position once again. All right, guys, so there you have it. Once again, some basic but also very important techniques you should have from the close guard position in Jiu-Jitsu. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this content. Just like usual, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you're new here. Until next time.
See you guys in the next Jiu-Jitsu video.
Take care.